A very warm hello to all my learners all across the globe. So I am Shruti Kaura class. I am an award winner at Unacademy. And it's a privilege for all of you, for all of us to meet. And we are discussing this important topic, how to talk to anyone, part 3. So all of you ready? All of you, please tighten your seatbelt to start the most adventurous journey of influencing and impressing someone only through your communication, only by certain tips and tricks which I am going to tell you in today's session. Today's session is going to be wonderful. It can change your life if you actually follow it seriously. So as I just shared with you, I am Shruti Kaura class. I am an award winner at Unacademy. This is a glimpse of my award. My discount code, if you're planning to enroll at Unacademy for Plus or for Iconic subscription, my code is SCORALIVE. Please use this code not only to get the discount, but to get the benefit of a lot of things like assignments, vocabulary words, and many other things. So do use it and be my student. I'll help you in all of the exams all across the country, all across the globe. Perfectly fine. So as I shared with you, there are two subscriptions. One is Plus. Here you have to use the code as I have mentioned. Again, Iconic is a second subscription. There are a lot of batch courses. Go ahead and enroll yourself for all these batch courses. Then of course, last push to your CAT 2021 preparation. Again, there is a 2-month subscription which is 7,000. Go ahead. You can have this 2-month subscription. Again, don't forget to use the code SCORALIVE. You'll get extra 10% off with my code. Next, as I just shared with you in the Iconic subscription, there is so much that you could do 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. Please use it. Again, don't forget to use the code SCORALIVE. Here, you'll get the benefit of 1:1 live, doubt solving by the experts. There'll be live concept discussion again with the expert and live mentorship by the top B school graduates. Oh my God, what is this? Buy 3 plus get 1 month. This calendar is the month. 3 months. If you enroll yourself for 3 months, you'll get the 1 month free. If you enroll yourself for 12 months, you'll get 3 months free. If you enroll yourself for 24 months, you'll get 3 months free. Free. But again, look here. You have to use the educator code like my code SCORALIVE in order to get the 10% off. Perfectly fine. Go ahead. Then you could be the next one as it has been shown here. But for that, you have to enroll yourself at Unacademy using the code. Please write it on your screen. Everybody, please write my code on your screen. My code for the YouTube is SCORALIVE. Please don't forget to use it. Again, a clear-cut screen to tell you, look here. This is my code SKAURALIVE. Use this code to enroll for free for this scholarship test, for this mock CAT. Please use the code to enroll yourself for this particular CAT mock. You will get a real assessment, how you have performed in all the 3 sections of the CAT, provided you enroll. And enrollment is definitely free. So go ahead and enroll yourself. Now, the important part, books that can change your life. Yes, do books can change your life? Yes or no? All across India, all across the globe. Yes, books can change your life, provided you read them. So as I always say, leaders are always readers. So if you really want to be a leader, try to become a reader, not just a reader, but be an avid reader. Now, in the first 2 parts, I discussed certain tricks, tips, strategies with you. Now, part 3, how to talk like a VIP. Whenever you're going to talk, how to talk like a VIP, very important person. Oh my God, ma'am, I am not a VIP, but yes, you could be. All across India, you could be, provided you behave in that way, as if you are like a very, very important person. Now, what you have to do? If you actually want to talk like a VIP, what you have to do is that you have to find out what others do. And you don't have to ask them. I'm repeating again, you have to exactly find out what do they do. And you don't have to ask them explicitly if you want to talk, if you want to sound like a VIP. So while meeting anybody, now look at the process, how you could talk like a VIP while meeting anybody. You could ask like, what do you do? A general question. You have met somebody and you have asked the question, what do you do? Now, sometimes most people don't actually want to tell you what do they do because they don't have much. They don't feel much content in the answer of this question, what do they do? For example, generally, homemakers, housewives, they try to avoid this question. Maybe the question could embarrass them. They feel that they are not doing something significant in their life according to them. And they feel a little embarrassment in answering this question to you, what do they do? So it seems if you ask this question to them, they get that inferiority complex in them. So the big catch is that what do you have to do? So from now onwards, you don't have to ask the question, what do you do? Ask the question, how do you spend most of your time? I'm repeating once again, if you really want to talk like a VIP, then ask this particular question like, how do you spend most of your time? Rather than saying, what do you do? Why? The reason is that because this could be a little embarrassing for some people. Very good, absolutely right. If you ask the question in this way, so anybody will feel comfortable in answering this question. Anybody, be it a homemaker, be it someone who is just, who has just joined his or her father's business and they are just trying to establish themselves in their father's business. Even they will not feel embarrassed, they'll not feel inferior. So anybody will feel comfortable in answering this question. So next time, don't ask what do you do, rather say how do you spend most of your time. Is that point clear? What did I just say? All across India. So ask how do you spend most of your time, not what do you do. How to know what to say when they ask what do you do. Now the next big question, the $1 million question is that what if somebody asks you, what do you do? Let's say everybody has not gone through my session. Still, the most favorite line of the people is, what do you do? So what if somebody comes to you and they still say, what do you do? So how to know what to say? Exactly what are you going to answer? Now if somebody has asked that, somebody has crossed the line. Maybe they have not watched my session and they came to you and they directly said somewhere, or they'll directly say to you, what do you do? What are you going to say in that case? What do you do not? That is the 24th technique. That is, what do you do not? Like how to say, what to say when they ask you, what do you do? So although I have told you, you are not going to ask this question, but if somebody still asks you, then understand the context of the question. Don't get offended by this question immediately. Don't start feeling embarrassed. Don't have that feeling of embarrassment in you. Don't feel inferior if you don't feel that you are not doing something, significant in your life. If you feel that your work is too insignificant, or whatsoever reasons you have to consider your job, your profession as not so important, try to understand the context of the question. Then you should immediately tell about your area of work. Go ahead, tell about your area of work. For example, if the person told you, what do you do? So you said, I am a software professional, or I have a cement manufacturing business. I'm repeating once again, somebody came to you, right? Now somebody said, what do you do? So you said, I am a software professional, or you said, I have a cement manufacturing business. immediately use this line, speak this line. If you need any kind of assistance in the cement manufacturing business, I would be glad to help you. That is what you should add. Even if somebody has asked you, what do you do? I'm a software professional. If you need any kind of help in creating your app or website, or if you need a full stack development structure, I would be glad to help you. If you need any assistance in creating your website, in creating your app, or for end-to-end development, I would be glad to help you. This is how you have to speak, right? So point number one, please don't ask this question, what do you do? Rather, rephrase the question like, how do you spend most of your time? Point number two, if somebody has already asked you this question, so rather than getting embarrassed, answer this question in a way like, I am a software professional. If you need any kind of assistance in creating a website or an app or any other sort of thing, if you need any kind of end-to-end development, I am a full stack developer. I would be glad to help you. That is how you have to give the answer. Next. Now when answering, what do? What are you doing? Tell them what you actually do that could benefit them. See, what are you doing? That is not of much concern to the other person who has asked the question. सामने वाले ने आपसे question पूछा है, what do you do? What is the purpose? The purpose is, sometimes it's not the purpose is that he wants to know what are you doing. कभी कभी he is not interested कि आप क्या करते हैं. What he is interested in that, जो आप करते हैं, whatever you are doing, is it of any interest to him or her? जो आप करते हैं, क्या वो उसके किसी काम का है? That is why maybe he has asked you this question. Are you of any help to the other person? So that is why tell them that how you could, or your job or your profession or your business could help them. What they might be interested in, reflect on the benefit of your job, how your job is beneficial for the mankind. For example, if you are a real estate agent, don't just say that I am a real estate agent. Say that I help people moving in our area find the right home. Find the right home with a suitable budget or with the right budget. I help people find right home with a suitable budget, with the right budget. That's a much better way. I help people moving into our area. So maybe next time if you meet someone, say that how your job, how your profession can help them, how it could be beneficial for the mankind. So today, all of you, please start creating one line answer of what do you do. Right here, right now, if you are able to write, you can write in the chat box that how your job, your profession, your current particular, thing, whatever you are doing, could be help to the mankind. I want all of you to write in the chat box. Just now I shared the example of a real estate agent. For example, if you say that I am a financial planner, that's not enough. Say that I help people plan their financial future. I help people multiply their money. That could be of interest to the other person, rather than saying I am a software professional, or I am a real estate agent, or I am a financial planner, or I am a financial analyst. No. For example, if you are a martial arts instructor, oh my god, I am scared now. So rather than saying that you are a martial arts instructor, be it for taekwondo, be it for karate, be it for judo, be it for tai chi, rather than saying, just that I am a, martial arts instructor, say that I help people defend themselves by teaching martial arts. I help people defend themselves by teaching martial arts. मैं लोगों की help करता हूँ कि वो अपने आप को defend कर सके by teaching martial arts. Next, if you are a doctor, if you are a cosmetic surgeon, so say I reconstruct people's faces after disfiguring accidents or any other such unfortunate events. Right? So rather than saying I am a cosmetic surgeon, you can say, hey, I reconstruct people's faces after disfiguring accidents. If you're talking with the women of a certain age, maybe as the French, so gracefully say, tell her, let's say if I am talking specifically of someone, right, a cosmetic surgeon talking specifically to someone, maybe a French lady or somewhere, so he can say I help people to look as young. Let's say maybe now what you have to do is that you can customize your answer based on the person with whom you are talking. Let's say the cosmetic surgeon is talking to a lady of a certain age, maybe a French lady somewhere in 40s or 40 plus. So he can say I help people look young. I help people to look as young as they feel through cosmetic surgery. I help people to look as young as they feel through cosmetic surgery. So one more point, you can customize your answers of what do you do based on the age, based on certain parameters of the person. For example, if you're a hairdresser, you're a beautician, right? You work in a salon. So rather than saying I'm a hairdresser, I help a woman find the right style, hairstyle for her particular face. I help a woman find the perfect hairstyle for a particular face. Or I help women find the right hairstyle for a particular face. That is the right way. Now, oh my God, what is this? Walnut? What is coming out of that walnut? How to make your life sound like you'll be a fun person. Maybe, let's say you meet someone. So you would love to meet people who are very humorous, who love to be fun around. So how to make your life sound like you'll be a fun person to know. People would love to talk to you. Now, just as job seeking, top managers, if you look at the managers, those who are seeking for the top managerial positions, they always create different resumes, different curriculum vitae for different job descriptions. For different job descriptions, they create different CVs or resumes, right? Because according to them, there are a lot of positions, they still have the same job description, just a little twisting and tweaking is required. And the same twisting and tweaking they do in their own curriculum vitae or resume. This is what you have to do. So before you respond to what do you do, just ask yourself what possible interest the other person could have in my answer. सामने वाले का क्या इंटरेस्ट है आपसे ये क्वेश्चन पूछने में, ये सोचो, just think. And once you have figured it out that what possible interest the other person could have in my answer, customize your answer based on the interest of the other person. So could he refer business to me? Just think in your mind, could he refer business to me? Is he going to buy from me? Is he going to have his hair styled from me? Is he or she wants to have some cosmetic surgery? Does he want to buy some house from me? Does he want me to construct his website or app? Does he want to hire me? Does he want to marry my sister? Does he want to become my friend? Like, what is the personal interest of that person Try to find out that, and please customize your answer of what do you do based on that. That's a very good, wonderful way. Even if you look in some of the lot of movies, they generally customize their answer in the same way what I just told you. So wherever you go, pack a nutshell about your own life, right? Just pack a nutshell of your own life. This is nutshell. So whatever your life you have been through, just pack it in a nutshell and interject it in your communication. You have got your communication bag of tricks. Just pack a nutshell about your life in that communication bag of tricks. This is called as a nutshell resume. Give your resume in a very nutshell, in such a brief way, one-line resume of yours. Isn't that wonderful? Just one-line resume of yours. Like, what do you do? Wow, that's so interesting. Let a different story about your personal life roll off your tongue for each listener. For example, you have got n number of listeners, or you have got different listeners. Tell a different story, paraphrase your answer, but the real meaning should remain the same. You should have paraphrased versions of your answer of the question, what do you do? But the original meaning should remain the same. I am pretty sure that that is what the meaning of paraphrase is, and I am pretty sure that you all know the meaning of paraphrase. So, paraphrase your answers of what do you do for each one of your listeners. How to sound even smarter than you are. जितने smart आप हैं या नहीं है, उससे ज़्यादा कैसे sound करें. How to sound even smarter than you are. Oh my God, is it? Then what is the use of this synonyms? Why this image? Let's go and find out. Your personal thesaurus. For example, decide which words in your vocabulary you use too much. There must be certain words that you're going to use too much. For example, let's say you use the word clear a lot of times. So rather than clear, you can simply use it. Let's say you use some particular word, maybe as I have shared with you, yes, a lot of times. So I have told you that instead of say that I agree, so you can say, yeah, I concur with you, right? So decide which words in your vocabulary you use quite often. Then please note down the substitute, the synonyms of those words. Get some good words. Grab a thesaurus. For example, instead of criticism, there are a lot of words you could use, right? That could be, admonish or rebuke. There are so many words that we have learned. Try to use those words. Instead of saying the plain old good boring word good, you can use a lot of words instead of good. If it's a good person, what is the word you're going to use? If it's a good place, what is you're going to use? If it's a good food, what are you going to use? If it's a, if let's say something is actually good, what are you going to say? So grab a dictionary, get a dictionary, search the alternatives of those words that you use frequently. And then when you have gotten a list of alternatives, decide from that list which one you are going to use from now onwards. For example, I have replaced a lot of words in your life. Similarly, you can use alternative or synonym words of all the words that you use quite frequently. And please, from that list, decide only those words that naturally come to you. Right? So आज से जो भी words आप बोलते हैं, you'll get a dictionary, you'll get a thesaurus. उसमें से आप उन words के synonyms note करेंगे और अपनी life में जो words आप most frequently use करते हैं उनको replace कर देंगे in particular synonyms से. So look up words you use too often in a thesaurus. You find it richer, fuller synonyms of those words. Basically, use the word, get the words which you find really fuller, which you find really richer than the words you were using earlier. Now, what is the benefit of using these rich, full words? It will make you sound intelligent and creative. You will sound more intelligent and creative when you start using these words. That is the idea. Now, First, I shared with you how to talk like a VIP, no? So here I am sharing with you that how you can sound like an intelligent and a creative person. Now, only 50 words can make a difference between a rich, creative vocabulary and an average, middle of the road one. Please don't use an average, middle of the road one vocabulary. For example, rather than saying inform, use the word apprise. That is much better, right? So rather than saying good place, as I have shared in my own YouTube video, use the word picturesque, soothing, calm. Rather than saying that it's very difficult to persuade that person, use the word implacable. Rather than saying he has got or she has got no flaws, say impeccable. So that is what, only 50 words will create a difference between a rich and a creative vocabulary and an average, middle of the road one. Substitute a word a day for 2 months and you will be in the verbally elite group market. There is a group, as I always say, that my class at Unacademy is an elite club, as I always say, and now I'm introducing you to a synonym of that particular word, verbally elite. If you get only 50 words in your dictionary, that will make you a rich and intelligent person who has got a very, rich vocabulary that will differentiate you from the average and middle of the road vocabulary. So substitute that, if you're really going to substitute that word a day for 2 months, do it regularly for 60 days or maybe regularly even for 50 days. You'll come into the verbally elite group. Yes, you can. Then think of a few tired, overworked words you use every day, like smart. Rather than saying smart, you can use some other word. Rather than saying nice, pretty, good, as I just shared with you, right? Someone is generous. Someone is, maybe over the top. Instead of saying that somebody is too nice, use a very different word. Maybe humble, generous, noble, right? Instead of saying pretty, you can say charming, right? These are the words you could work upon. If it's a handsome, rather than saying he's very smart, you can say he's very chivalrous. So that is why it's very important to grab a thesaurus, replace all the words in your life with a sound, rich, fuller vocabulary. Now, how to not sound anxious? Let them discover your similarity. When, of course, I get anxious, I get nervous, we all get anxious, we all get nervous, but how to not sound anxious? Let them discover your similarity. So when you delay revealing your similarity, or let them discover it, it has got a more punch. Don't just say that yeah, we are so similar, we are so same, we are two personalities alike. Please resist that temptation to show the other person that we both are similar. Please let them discover it. Then it has got more punch. Let them discover. So don't be anxious to have that rapport between you and the other person. I'm repeating again. Don't be so anxious to tell the other person that hum dono same hai. Please resist that temptation. And what do you have to do? And why you have to do it? Because let the other person discover that thing in you. Let the other person see that you both are somewhere similar. It has got more punch rather than you revealing the similarities between the two of you. Next, this is called as kill the quick me too. Please, the quick me too syndrome, kill that. So whenever you have something in common, let's say you're talking to someone and you realize you have something in common with the other person, just have some patience, take some time to reveal it. Don't just reveal it immediately. The more moved and impressed he or she will be, take that time, right, to reveal that. And once you do it after some time, or once the other person automatically discovers that, it will be much more impressive. The other person will be much more moved. So avoid the quick me too. Let the other person discuss his or her interest before you reveal yours. Let the other person discuss his or her interest before you reveal yours. But do you need to wait too long? Please, on the other hand, on the flip side of the coin, don't wait too long. Don't wait too long to reveal your shared interest. If you do that, like if you're taking too long to reveal your interest again, it will sound a little tricky. You are being trickier here. Now, how to get respect and affection from others? You are somewhere, you want to get the respect. Earlier I told you the ways to get attention. Now you want to get the respect, affection from others. So whenever you meet someone, don't use the words I, me, mine. I, my, me, mine, myself, me, I, me, myself, I, me, mine, I, my, mine, whatever. Whichever permutation and combination you would like to use, you can use that. But whenever you meet someone, don't use the words I, my, mine, I, me, myself. If you give first chance to other, just give the first chance to the other person, you'll get the respect in return. I'm repeating once again. Give the first chance to the other person, you'll get the respect in return. How? See, whenever you ask the other person to come along with you, Your Grace, my lady, my lord, right? So let's say you ask the other person to come along with you, maybe to eat outside, to have over for a coffee, lunch, dinner, brunch or supper, right? Give a chance to the other person. Give the first chance to the other person. And then that person feels as if you are respecting him or her. For example, if somebody asked you, hey, can you please tell me about some good restaurant or any such nearby good restaurant? Can you please tell me about any good restaurant? So instead of just telling the name of that restaurant, for example, you said, yeah, there is a Hyatt, there is a Park Plaza nearby, there is an Oberoi nearby. So rather than just taking the name of, all these restaurants, Bukhara, Shangri-La, or, such names, what you could do, say there is a good restaurant nearby, I'm going there. Would you like to come with me? I'm repeating once again. First of all, I shared with you, kill the me too symptom. The point number one I shared with you is that whenever you are meeting someone, don't just say, what do you do? Rather, change your question to, how do you spend most of your time? Point number two, still, if you ask this question, what do you do? If somebody asks you this question, better you attach a one-line summary based on the benefit of the other person. It should be customized according to the people you're going to meet. You should gauge in your mind what the other person, what the interest other person has in my answer, and then customize your answer. Point number three I shared with you, kill the me too syndrome. Don't just quickly jump to tell the other person that we two are similar. Rather, wait for the other person to actually get it from your conversation. If the other person is unable to get it, then you tell it by yourself. Next point, how to get the respect and affection. If you really want to get the respect and affection, don't just talk only about yourself. Point number one. Point number two, don't be the first one to start talking, and that too about yourself. Give the other person a chance to talk about himself or herself. For example, if somebody has asked you, could you please tell me about a good nearby restaurant? Don't just give the name. If you're going in that direction, you can say that, hey, I'm going in the same direction. Would you like to come along with me? Would you like to come with me? That is much better. So this is called as come you. See, even in the communication, it's you. Come you. Communication. That is start every appropriate sentence with you. It's not about I, me, myself. Start every appropriate sentence with you. How this will help? It'll immediately grab your listener's attention. You'll get a more positive response. It'll immediately grab the attention of your listener. Would you like to come along with me? Oh my God, you'll get a much more positive response. Now, the question is that now I told you about flooding, smile. But you want to smile for that someone special. How to do that? How to smile? Should I smile like this? How am I going to smile for that someone special? Now, why smile? Smile, as I always say, is the shortest distance between two people, but smile is an emotion. Your smile enhances your personality. So smile is an emotion, but if your way of smile is different for different people, then you can make that someone special feel special too. I'm repeating once again, smile is an emotion, but if you smile differently for different people and you want to make that someone special feel special, then smile in a special way. It should be exclusive. That smile should be exclusive for that someone special. That is called as the exclusive smile. So when meeting group of people, greet each one with a distinct smile. It's not the same, monotonous smile emotion. Yeah, thank you. How are you? Hi, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, it should be changed. Yeah. Hello. Oh, yeah. Hello. Okay. Then, hello. Yeah. So it should reflect in your eyes and in your smile. So, next point, how you should not give shock to others. Through your conversation, God forbids, nobody should give shock to anybody, but sometimes we have to deliver the bad news, we have to give the bad news. Then how to sound okay, or how to make sure that the other person remains okay when you give them some shock through your conversation. Not exactly a bad news, but maybe some shock through your conversation. See, there is a proper way to say and do something, and it depends on you. हर चीज को कहने का, करने का एक तरीका होता है और वो आप पे डिपेंड करता है that how are you going to express yourself to others. आप अपने आप को दूसरों के सामने कैसे express करते हैं. See, it's not good to speak anything without thinking twice. It's never good just to speak anything without thinking twice. 2 बार सोच के बोलो, पहले तोलो फिर बोलो. Right? So plan before you speak or think twice before you speak. 2 बार सोच लो जो आप बोलने जा रहे हो. Why? Because you are not here to give shock to others through your conversation. That is how you'll be able to make an impressive conversation with anyone. Right? Next. Let's say, if you do this, you said that, no, I'm not going to think twice. I'll just speak whatever comes to my mind. See, in this way, you'll spoil your image. In case you're going to speak something which is wrong, if you're going to speak something which could give shock to others, so you could spoil your image if you do like this. Next, don't touch a cliche with a 10-feet pole. What do I mean by cliches? Are they overused statements? Yes, they are. So, if I use the same old strategies or small talk, don't you think they'll sound boring to the other person? Don't you think that somewhere you're copying the things from some famous Bollywood or Hollywood movie? Don't you think that it'll sound a little cliche? So how to actually do a conversation which is original and which is going to impress and influence others? Actually use strategies of motivational speakers. I do A lot of YouTube videos here on this channel of a lot of motivational speakers, Nobel Prize winners. Trust me, if you really want to impress anyone, if you really want to talk to anyone, if you really want to sound intelligent, if you really want to make sure that people will take you seriously and they'll respect you, so do use strategies of motivational speakers to highlight your point of view. When you want to put forward your opinion, your point of view, then use strategies of motivational speakers. Sometimes you don't find the right way to express yourself. You know, sometimes you have to speak something, but you're not finding the right way to express yourself, but still you want others should listen to you. Then what are you going to do? क्या करना चाहिए उस situation में? Start with the common questions recommended by motivational speakers. अगर आपको अपनी बात कहने का सही तरीका नहीं आता, but you still want that others will listen to you, so you start with the common questions that are recommended by the motivational speakers. आप वो questions से start करिए जो motivational speakers recommend करते हैं. Or if you have got a very good sense of humor, then people will laugh at your serious talks as well. अगर आपका sense of humor बहुत जबरदस्त है, बहुत गजब का है, so people will laugh at your serious conversation, at your serious talks as well. लोग आपकी serious बातों पे भी हंसेंगे. So in this way, you'll be able to speak anything in your own way. इस तरीके से जो भी आपको कहना है आप अपने तरीके से कह पाएंगे. So make sure people enjoy your company. Make sure if you're talking to some people, please, this should be your first priority, that people are enjoying your company. Now, what are the techniques of these motivational speakers? These techniques are techniques of humor and understanding the context. What do I mean by humor and what do I mean by understanding the context? Banter होता है मजाक. So बड़े लोग कैसे मजाक करते हैं? That is like, you must have seen Rendezvous with Simi Garewal. You must have seen, a lot of other shows where you must have seen how big shots are doing some banter. So how to banter like big shots? How to banter like celebrities? मजाक भी ऐसा होना चाहिए. Sense of humor that should have got some class in it. How to do that? Actually, whenever you are standing in front of someone who has achieved a lot, let's say आप किसी से मिलते हैं जिसने life में बहुत कुछ achieve किया, he or she could be a celebrity, he could or she could be a famous person. So you know that people enjoy the jokes of even the famous people too. Even if they are not so jocular or not, people still enjoy their jokes. So why? What is the reason? Because winners are not afraid of anything. They speak what they see. Even you should have the quality of being humorous without offending anyone. Please make sure that people will laugh at your jokes as well. People will take you as a humorous personality only if your humor is not offending someone. Why? Your banter is in a way which never hurts anybody. So develop a good sense of humor so that everybody can enjoy your company and nobody gets hurt by your talks. Your banter, your sense of humor, your humorous personality should never offend someone. It should never hurt anybody's sentiments. Next, call a spade a spade. I always say, what is the meaning of this idiom? I have taught this idiom to you in the special classes. That is being very frank, talking honestly, right? Your candor, forthrightness, open, honesty, being direct. Call a spade a spade. Please don't hide behind euphemisms. Call a spade a spade. Don't hide behind euphemisms. What do I mean by that? Actually, how to avoid the world's worst conversational habit. Now the question is, what is the world's worst conversational habit? See, when we join a social gathering or a part of a big crowd, then we might end up meeting some people. Let's say we are in a part of some social gathering, we are a part of some big crowd. Then we end up meeting people. They always speak without thinking too much. And all others sitting there gets embarrassed. In every gathering, you must have met a lot of people जो बिना सोचे बोलते हैं. And generally when they speak, लोग offend जाते हैं. Right? People get embarrassed, people get offended. This is the worst situation for anyone. Please try to avoid discussing such things. Don't speak things where others could get embarrassed. Now, the next technique is called as trash the teasing. Basically, never make a joke at someone else's expense. What do I mean by that? Or what am I going to say? So basically, the point I just tried to make here is that even if you want to make a joke, even if you want to sound humorous, never do it at the self-respect and the integrity of someone else. No, that's not right. Now, as I just shared with you, when you have to give the bad news, when you have to actually give some shock in your conversation, how to do that? Suppose that you have planned an outing. Let's say you have planned to go for a movie, for a coffee with your friends. You have planned some outing and suddenly you decided to back out of the plan. Suddenly you decided to drop the idea. Now you have to deliver this news. You have to deliver this news, this particular thing to your friends. How will you do that? Please, when you meet your friends, don't immediately go and say no to them. Hey, I'm not going with you. No, don't do that. Tell them your reasoning. First, give your reason of not going on the outing. Why you're not going on the outing? First, you said yes and then later on you backed out. Tell them your reason. Then give them the bad news. Then their feelings won't be hurt much, although they will be hurt. But since you have given your line of reasoning, you have not delivered the news immediately. This will be much better. Spend some time with your friends. Spend some time with those people to whom you have just delivered the bad news. Spend some time with them. Don't just immediately deliver the bad news. Next, it is the receiver's ball. What do I mean by receiver's ball? Before throwing out any news, keep the receiver in mind. What do I mean by that? Basically, whenever I'm going to give some news, be it good, be it bad, be it anything, keep the receiver in your mind, and then once I have kept the receiver in my mind with the appropriate emotional emphasis, I am going to deliver the news. Point number one, you have to take some time before delivering the bad news. Point number two, you have to give your line of reasoning. Point number three, you have to spend some time with the other person. Point number four, maintain appropriate emotional gestures before delivering the bad news. How to respond when you don't want to answer. Sometimes ऐसा बहुत बार होता है, we don't want to answer some particular question, but the other person, he or she is continuously asking the same question which we don't want to answer because we don't feel comfortable while answering those questions. Maybe questions related to our breakup, maybe questions related to our love life or professional life even. So how to respond to these people? Sometimes some things happen in our life related to which we don't want to discuss, we don't want to listen, we just want to, bury them. But the other person wants to discuss the same thing which we want to avoid. They'll ask you the same question every time you meet them. And you can't avoid meeting them. Then what to do? So basically, give the same answer. Every time give the same answer with the same tone. I'm repeating once again. Let's say you go to some coaching classes and you were having friendship with someone, and now due to some reasons that bond has got broken off, but the other friends in your academy, in your coaching, they're asking you the same question. So are you still, friendly? Are you still in friendly terms with the XYZ person? So rather than getting angry, rather than, showing some sort of other thing, just give the same answer, no. And do it with the same tone. No, we are just acquaintances. We are still friends. Something like that. Again with the same tone. If again they ask you, are you still in relationship? Are you still, again say, we are just friends. We are just friends. This is how. Give the same answer with the same tone. So what this will do, you're giving a hint to the other person that you are getting annoyed, you are getting irritated. If you give the same answer every time they meet you with the same tone, they know that you are getting annoyed, you are getting irritated. So they'll stop asking you this question. Next, the broken record. What do I mean by this? See, when someone persists you, like they persist in questioning you on an unwelcome subject, just now I shared with you, this is called as the broken record. They are persisting you to answer on an unwelcoming subject. The subject is so unwelcome. Always repeat your original response. Use precisely the same words and the same tone of voice. Next, big shots don't slobber over celebrities. Oh my god. Don't compliment their work. Simply say, in a sense, don't just kind of compliment their work. Oh my god, that movie was great. That poem was great. That drama was great. That painting was great. No. Say that how that work has given you so much pleasure. Just tell them that by watching that particular movie, you realize about the history. Just watching that particular movie or that series, you realize a lot about the science fiction or the universe. Tell the other person that if you like some celebrity, some movie or their work, how that work of particular celebrity has given you pleasure. So if you do single out a piece of work or maybe accomplishment, just make sure you're talking about the recent one. Don't talk about maybe 10 years old or 20 years old thing. Secondly, let's say if some conversation about your favorite celebrity has come up, don't get excited. Don't immediately just get excited. If you want to be like your favorite celebrity, try to match their way of talking, their way of smiling, but it's equally important to be yourself at the same time. So two things that you have to keep in your mind is that whenever some conversation about your favorite celebrity, your favorite personality has come up, don't just get excited. Don't just say that the personality or the celebrity is good. Rather, talk about their works, talk about their projects. For example, if your favorite celebrity is a painter, talk about their paintings. How Picasso, how Michelangelo, how their Last Supper, how it has actually given you pleasure. If it is about some male celebrity, female, celebrity actor or actress, talk about their movie, that what you really enjoyed about their movie, why that particular movie has given you so much pleasure. That is what you have to do. Next, that's a very important technique. The next technique that I'm going to discuss with you, please don't just say thank you. This is a faulty phrase. Never just say thank you. Khali thank you nahi chalta. Never the naked thank you. Now the big question is that, ma'am, fir kya kare? So always say like this, thank you for. For example, you say to someone, thank you for the lunch. And the other person has replied to you, hey, thanks for being here. Yani, lunch के लिए शुक्रिया. And सामने वाले ने क्या बोला? यहाँ आने के लिए शुक्रिया. Thanks or thank you so much for the lunch. Hey, thanks for being here. But अगर आपने thank you for नहीं बोला, आपने thanks बोल दिया, तो क्या होगा? Then what will happen? If you use just the phrase thank you, actually saying a plain line of thank you so much could confuse the other person. उसको पता नहीं चलेगा आप किस बात के लिए thank you बोल रहे हैं. And even if the other person want to say thank you to you, he won't be able to say it. सामने वाले इंसान को पता नहीं चलेगा कि आप किस बात के लिए थैंक यू बोल रहे हैं, और अगर वो चाह के भी आपको थैंक यू नहीं कर पाएगा. जैसे we looked at the last slide, you said thank you and even the other person responded, hey, thanks for being here. That's a wonderful line. Now, the last part before I go ahead, how to be an insider in a crowd. Please make sure this is called as a scramble therapy, how to behave as if you are modern. Basically, what happens as we grow in our age, we feel that we are lacking some modernity in ourselves. So, if you really want to say everyone that you are quite modern, so to become modern, you have to adopt new things. Try to adopt new things. What do I mean by this? That you have to adopt new things. So while adopting these things, some feel that even though you are adopting new things, but what if I won't be able to do that particular thing, if I won't be able to operate that thing, people will laugh at me. Let's say नया लैपटॉप, नया कंप्यूटर, नया ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम, नया फोन और कोई नई एक्टिविटी that is considered as a modern or a food. Let's say आप वो नहीं कर पाते, तो आप सोचेंगे मैं नहीं कर पाया तो क्या होगा, लोग मुझ पे हंसेंगे. Actually, you should not think in that, on those lines, in that direction. Don't think about people. Just do what you want to do. लोगों के बारे में मत सोचो, वो करो जो आप करना चाहते हो. Just remember, you'll get a success if you can do it. अगर करोगे तभी maybe you could get success, right? So करना क्या है? Exactly what you have to do in order to sound modern. So once a month, do something you had never dreamed of doing. महीने में एक बार वो करो जो आपने सपने में भी नहीं सोचा करने का. Once a month, do something you had never dreamed of doing. Participate in an activity you had never think of indulging in. Right? I am repeating once again. Do something you had never ever dreamt of. Participate in an activity you had never think of indulging in. वो करो जो सपने में भी नहीं सोचा. So maybe not all the 4 weekends, maybe 1 out of 4 weekend, do something totally different. Totally different out of your pattern. Isn't it wow? Yeah, this way you would be able to actually sound modern. Now, before I go ahead for the next technique, I'll take that in the part 4. But once again, it's so privileged to have you all here. And we are discussing these things because mind it, all these things, if you go to some seminar, they all are paid, and here you are getting for free. So I expect all of you to do a thorough revision of, please watch this video once, twice, thrice, master all these activities in order to actually win the art of talking to people, to learn the art of talking to people. At the end of it, this is Shruti Kaura signing off for today. It was a wonderful session with all of you. Please do take very good care of yourself. Adios and gracias. We'll soon meet all of you in the next session. Hope you all have learned a lot. All right. Goodbye.